We're here at TEDxBeaconStreet, and I'm sitting down with Joy Ladin, Gottesman Professor of English at Yeshiva University and the first openly transgender employee of an Orthodox Jewish institution. Joy, it is an absolute pleasure to be talking to you. Thank you very much.
Great to be here.
So why don't you start by telling us a little bit about your talk?
My talk was called Ain't I a Woman? And I was trying to bring together two sides of a usually very bitter debate. People call names and issue death threats. It's a turf war over the word woman. So on the one side are women who are born and raised female, to whom the word woman means a whole bundle of things put together. It's about biology, it's about socialization, it's about how you grew up, right? You spend your whole life doing things and suffering things because you're a woman. That's what the word woman means. And on the other side are trans women, like me, who also identify as women. And some of us call ourselves trans women, some of us just say, we're women, we need to be accepted as women, we should be admitted to women-only spaces and events. And some women, not all women, but some women get very angry at the idea that people that they see as men are unilaterally redefining their own identities, right? Because that's a word that means a lot to them. On the other side, trans women feel like we have suffered our whole lives not being able to be who we are. We need this word. This has kept us alive. This is, we're actually risk death when we walk out on the street presenting ourselves as women. You can't deny us the right to be recognized as who we are. And because the stakes are so high on each side, as I say, there's a lot of vitriolic rhetoric and very little understanding. I didn't understand for a long time. My ex, when I was talking about gender transition with her, told me that she, made her very angry. The idea that I felt that I could unilaterally change the meaning of the word woman, and she said, what a typically male thing to do. Right? This is the ultimate example of male privilege. You control everything else, and then you say, oh, I'm tired of being a man, so I'm just going to change the meaning of woman for everybody to include me. And I really resisted that because when I was growing up as trans, I grew up in a world where everybody was either men or women, which was quite difficult for me. And the hope at the end of the rainbow is that I could someday go from being forced to be seen as a man to finally getting to be a woman. That was the language that I had. There wasn't any other language. And it was very hard for me to give that up and thus to hear the feelings that were on the other side.
Yeah.
But when I made myself, because I'm a scholar of this stuff, I made myself read the comment threads when I would publish essays about this.
Okay.
The Huffington Post did this.
This is terrifying territory, by the way, the comments thread of online things.
Yeah, it is. It's really scary. So I sent a chapter from my memoir, Through the Door of Life, A Jewish Journey Between Genders. Huffington Post was going to publish it. That was great. It was a chapter called Being a Man. They knew that that wasn't going to get very much attention, so they changed it to Transgender, Why I Chose to Be a Woman, which is not language that I would have ever used.
Yeah.
It was language that got a lot of attention because it made people very angry. The idea that being a woman was something that a man could choose and all this stuff. So I made myself read those comments, and I'm like, why are people saying that they feel violated by me? Trans women are among the more downtrodden and oppressed groups in most societies. Even within queer communities, often don't do very well. So why are these women feeling like we have all this power? And I thought, let me try to take what they're saying seriously. Let me go through the stuff that makes me angry and just listen to them. And what they were saying was, I was exercising the power to change the word that's at the heart of their own understanding of themselves. They felt like I was reaching into them and wrenching them. And when I got that, I thought, we're never going to get to a broader, better understanding of gender unless we can bring these different perspectives together in the way that we bring different religious perspectives together. Jews, Muslims, and Christians have totally different ideas about things that are way more important than gender, but we have learned how not to kill ourselves over them. So that was the goal of my talk, was to say, all right, I'm a trans woman, but I'm going to make myself a place that also the voices of those people who are really angry at my presentation of myself can be heard and respected, and then try to present this gender thing as something that we're in the middle of figuring out, and that the only way to figure it out is to listen respectfully to all the conflicting views.
Yeah. Joy, it's been a pleasure speaking with you in this interview and before, and hopefully after. And thank you so much. Your talk was incredibly inspiring. I encourage everyone to check it out. It's called Ain't I a Woman? Joy Ladin. And you can check out her talk at TEDxBeaconStreet.com.